Okay guys, I know you seen the title. I thought I would do this particular video because with the Feds dropping the rates for the first time in 4 years by 50 basis points, I thought I would do a video to show how it affects high yield savings account. So when the Fed drops rates, it's good for borrowers, but on the flip side, it's not so good for people who had their money in high yield savings accounts. Well, simply it would just means that they will be earning less money just by using like the safest investments that you can consider out there, kind of like storing your money in high yield savings accounts. Now, that's the thing. I thought this would be a good example to go over the difference between high yield savings accounts and CDs. Now, ultimately, in the long run, the Fed's rates will affect CDs as well. But right now, currently, the major difference is the rate that they said, hey, if we're going to do 5% or 6%, it's good throughout that whole term, regardless whether the Feds goes up or down with their rates. With the CD, it's without through that whole duration. So new CDs going forward will be affected by it. And high yield savings accounts, there's no like certain set time period you can hold it, but it's subject to whatever the Fed. So as soon as the Feds drop rates, your the money that you earn on your high yield savings will go down. Vice versa, if it goes up, your high yield savings will go up. So that's kind of the key difference. I'll also kind of show you on my accounts that they send you the emails letting you know, hey, we're dropping the rate that you'll earn your APY. It's no longer going to be 5, but 4.50. That's what happened in Bitterman. So like I said, good for borrows. But I thought I would bring this up because this is a good practical example in real life where you can kind of actually see the difference. So if you had the CD, even though the Feds drop rates, you still get that rate regardless, as long as the term of that. But with high yield savings, it's really how much you earn is directly affected by the whatever the Feds. So if the Feds lower, if the Feds increase, if the Feds drop, the more they drop, which I think that's going to be their direction. The more they drop, the lower you'll end up, earning. So, that's something you will want to consider. And when I'm talking about high yield savings and CDs, these are more so for people like conservative investments or people who plan on needing the money in a short period of time. Let's just say less than a year, so they don't want to take any risks. Now, if you're like some people don't like taking risk at all. Sometimes when we're looking at high yield savings and CDs, you kind of fall into that particular bunch. But the question is, I guess if you're more very conservative, you don't really want to worry about losing money or anything like that. Would this be a good time to, from the money you had in your high yield savings, to lock in, on that CD for that year or something? Especially since rates. I mean, it looks like the trend is they're going to keep slowly lowering rates. Rates haven't been this high in a long time, and I think they're talking about the job market or something slowing up a little bit. So we've been used to like almost a decade long of low interest rates, and um, things are getting expensive. Rates of as far as houses and stuff is much higher than people were used to. So the trend is you can anticipate that they'll probably slowly go down another 25 basis point, another 50 basis points. So that's the trajectory. So if you're trying to like maximize your money, especially if you have lump sum money here or something like that, it may be a good thing. Should I be like, hey, is this a good time to switch the high yield savings to the CD? Now I'm only talking if conservatives, those are the only two options. I'm not really factoring into like risky investments. So I'm just simply narrowing the scope down because I know some people be like, oh, it's too conservative and stuff like that. But we're just kind of focusing on the CDs, high yield savings, um, of that nature, especially since this topic comes up. Um, but I would probably say it would be definitely because I definitely see these high yield savings accounts slowly going down, slowly going down, slowly going down. So it may be wiser to like end up looking and trying to lock in those higher CD rates, because they will, as time goes on, the rates that they will offer going forward will be lower. It's just, right now the CD rates you can probably lock in now will probably be the highest you'll ever see, and probably anytime soon. So that's just my personal opinion of what I see. When no one can predict it, but I based off of what we see with the trajectory and stuff in the Feds, we I can think they're just going to probably keep lowering them, which would mean your high yield savings would dwindle down, and which means that future, CDs in the future they'll offer less yields. If you wanted to see, this is an actual Bitterman. That's a high yield savings account they have. They even sent me an email. It says you may have heard about the Federal Reserve moves to lower rates in response to cooler inflation. While the Fed rate changes means cash reserve rate will also change. We're working hard to bring you with the highest rates. Now it shows it dropped at 50 basis points. So previously I earned 5.85% APY, but now effectively as 9/20/2024, I earn 4.5% APY. So, and we can expecting this trend to keep going downward. So that's why I kind of bring up in the play, if is this a good time to lock in a high CD rate now. This is, I'm talking strictly for people who very conservative. They don't like risk tolerance, or short period of time where you kind of need that capital pretty soon or something like that. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Or you could do a hybrid of both, 50-50. You could do 50 in high yield savings, 50 in CDs, and so that particular way you can kind of get the best of both worlds. These are just ideas. I'm also having it with you with more of a conversation, if you know what I mean. This is another one. This is from Empower Personal Cap. They were Personal Capital, but they changed it to Empower. They letting you know that they adjusted their rates as well. Another high yield savings account. They adjusted theirs to 4.20%. So that's with the high yield savings. Like I said, with the Feds, whatever the Feds do, whether they increase or decrease rates, it directly affects there. Like I said, once one of the benefits from the CD, well, it's locked in. Your rates isn't going to be changed based off of the Federal Reserve. Now, going forward, future CDs going forward will be lower, but the ones you already had will, you'll get that. So this is probably the best real world situation um, that will kind of distinguish the difference. So let me know what you kind of think about the whole thing. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to my channel.